We could probably use this line again.
I know, but there's plenty of room to get up under here, Gary.
For the pan?
Yeah, because I got enough for the pan. There's enough room to get back up underneath the plate.
This one is going back to the tank, so we'll have to route it. We could either go this way and back up. Forward, we got 2 inches and 445,000. So from the 244, this will bolt on.
Okay.
If it's off a lot, then the belt, you know, this, just remember, this is fixed.
Okay.
So this can't be adjusted. This could slide to a point, but keep in mind there's gonna be another point in front of it too, so.
I also need to know where this puppy is, so I know where I can bring this tube out that locks this bar in.
Yep.
That supports here. So,
With having adequate tire clearance.
Yes.
Honestly, on this one, you're probably better off using a rod end only because if something fucking normalizes and budges, you're not, that tube plant may not line up anymore.
Yeah, I think in these two here, I might have to on both sides be
Or
a rod.
tube plant rod end on one end at least. That way if the chassis relaxes and something moves, and you know, all we have to do is just move the fucking rod end a hair and then tighten it.
Go ahead and toss it. We'll use this. It's got tabs on the bottom of it to hold it from the top if we want to too.
All these tubes are going to come down and sweep this way, and then there's going to be the exhaust going to come sweep back up this way, and then the wastegate is going to come and sweep back up this way. So it's going to be feed the tubes and then exit with the tubes, and then there's going to be all kinds of other tubes everywhere. We're going to come down, merge, feed it, wastegate will sit up in this area. Exhaust will come back up and over top and out this side, followed by the wastegate.
Yeah, the wastegate should.
It's going to cant on an angle down here.
Yeah.
But I want to get the collector and everything done first. We had to change it because of the...
Even better if it could be over here.
Well, I want to keep all the weight on this tube so I can support it along the way because it's going to be so long.
That would work so well because it's making that bend there.
Right. We're going to follow it so that it's going to feed it, and then it's going to come back up this way, across the top of it, and then go out the hood this way because you can't say nothing in your view. So that's what I'm thinking on the exhaust. Would you be okay with that to start it in here and bring it up around?
Yeah, that would work.
All right, we'll go that route, and I can keep the weight on top of the bar, and then this will follow the path of the exhaust.
Yeah.
Okay. Like that. This flange is pretty big. Meljos. So I can bring that pipe right in. And even make tabs maybe to support it on that flange. This is one of the parts I made earlier in the week when I first came out. It was important to place the turbo once we came up with an idea of how we're going to do everything. So I spent like, I don't know, a couple days working on this octopus disaster, and you know, at the last minute, Super Goo didn't like everything and made us completely change it. So it went from going to something like this to where it sits now, where it's nice and simple. The motor's kicked all the way back instead of being as forward as it was, and basically we kind of fabricated ourselves into a corner, and they didn't like it. They didn't like the whole setup, made us redo it, which is fine. Most people would have just called it a day, gave up, went home for the weekend. Couldn't do it. Me and Chip just, you know, put our heads together, figured it out. So
The way we had it before was very clocked forward, leaning almost to the front top hoop here. When we decided to come bring it back out, instead of destroying the motor plate that we had, you know, a machine piece of billet 6061 aluminum that we already had set in place, instead of cutting that apart, destroying it, because there is a possibility, and we are actually working on that right now, to reuse that original piece, came back in and used just a regular old piece of 3/8 plywood. But this way, just mimicked exactly the plate that I had, set it on the table, and just started figuring out how to be able to rotate transmission, motor, get it back to an angle that would work. You know, good old wood, but still gave everything we needed to make the design, marked holes, and then could actually free hand it on the table and then we actually set it back in the car using this, set it all back in, and bolted it all together just with a piece of wood. When that was satisfactory, went back, grabbed another piece of flat plate aluminum, set this down on it, cut it again, and then went for the full bore thing and set it back in the car. And that's actually what we got in right now. It's our secondary mock-up piece.
The foundation of this whole build changed, and we had to rip down everything we did and start over again. And once this was laid in place, we could build all these parts around it.